ChatGPT, could you please write me an introduction to this video? As AI begins to permeate all walks of life, how will it affect climbing? In today's video, we look to explore how AI could revolutionize the climbing world and if it will lead to more well-rounded climbers. If you are a climber currently or have climbed for any amount of time in the past, you will know that climbing is a very stylistic sport, meaning that each climber will approach each climb slightly differently. Some climbers will prefer crimps, some climbers will prefer slopers, some climbers will prefer static, slow moves, some climbers will prefer jumpy, long moves. This is the game of climbing, finding your weaknesses and working on them until you've found new weaknesses. To understand how AI could revolutionize climbing, let's first look at two climbs that are the same grade, but in a different style.
There you go.
So as you can see on this climb here, we have some slightly smaller holds. This one's pretty good. This one, only getting about a fingertip, maybe a fingertip and a half. Similar on this guy here. A fingertip, full pad, maybe a little bit more. And then when we get up to this wooden hold, we're holding on to basically nothing there. So that's probably about here on the fingertip. Same thing with that wooden one up there. On this one, you have to do a really cool drop knee, which is where you place your foot on and then drop it to get your hip nice and close to the wall. So that's pretty cool. And then on this next climb that we have, as you can see, this hold is about twice, maybe 3 times as big as anything on that last climb. Same thing with this. I mean, it's not at a good angle, but it's big. And that, I mean, it's the worst hold on the board, and yet it's about the size of the worst one here, right? Next one's big. They're all big holds. And it may look like the first one was easier, or maybe to some of you it may look like the second one was easier, but these two climbs are actually the same grade. Now that you have frame of reference for the different styles in climbing, you may be able to start to see where AI can play its part. Belay.ai is an AI software that takes videos of your climbs and gives you real-time feedback. This AI model allows climbers to see in real time how each of their limbs are moving on a given climb. I highly recommend checking out his YouTube video on the topic if you are interested in more information. The only problem with an AI system like Belay.ai is that there is so much variation in setting style. Since boulders can be set so differently, it can be hard to tell what is the best way to approach a given boulder. This is where board climbing comes in. Board climbs, like some of the climbs seen in this video, have hundreds, if not thousands, of ascents. This is where Belay.ai can break through though. As board climbs have the same holds at the same angles, it can get information on different climbers on the same climbs. I discussed some of this in an interview I recently did with Josh Horsley. He's a climbing content creator and CEO of Test Piece Climbing. We discussed how AI has already permeated climbing and where it will in the future. Josh is not a believer that AI is at a point where it can be beneficial in climbing. He is a believer that the AI that is used at the highest level will not yet be available to the public, and it takes time for those things to work their way into recreational areas. After my discussion with Josh, I imagined an app, a sort of one-stop shop for all your board climbing needs. This app could allow you to film each of your individual climbs and determine what hold style you like, what hold type you like, and how overall you climb as a climber. For example, if you're a climber who likes small holds, cranks, small feet holds, and strong positions, the app could recommend similar climbs to your strengths. This goes the other way as well, where you can use the app to work on your weaknesses. So if you like big, pinchy moves, you can be recommended climbs that are crimpier or use smaller holds. This could seriously change the game for climbers who have found themselves locked into one style of climbing. This AI could go a level deeper and determine on certain climbs where maybe you skipped holds or didn't use a specific hold like other climbers did, and could recommend that you go back and do that climb a different way. It could also show you different ways that the climb has been done because it has thousands of videos of people doing that specific climb. An app like this could change the climbing game, not only for those who have been climbing for decades, but also those who are just getting into the sport. Is the technology there yet to create an app like this? Sure. Is it probably going to come to climbing anytime soon? Probably not. Unfortunately, AI is used or is being pushed to be used professionally mostly, not in the private sector. It is fun to think about, however, living in a world where you could have a coach who has seen thousands of climbers climb that exact climb and give you recommendations based off of that. Only time will tell where this technology goes.